What's happening, YouTube? It's Simon466cards, and today we're going to talk a little bit more about Beckett. We're going to talk about 5 things I found on their website that are so out of touch and outdated that it's hard to believe they actually exist on the website. We're going to then talk about something good in terms of a business idea that I found on the website. We're then going to move over to something quirky and just like a fun little tidbit that I found on their website, and then we're going to end it off with a dark horse candidate who nobody's talking about that could possibly buy the company. So that's the outline of the whole video. But first, we're going to start off with the 5 outdated and out of touch things that are on their website. So this idea came to me after watching Chris Sewell, baseball card collector, investor, dealer, his video on Beckett, and one of the big grievances that he had with the Beckett website, which is that they have these price guide values that are completely out of touch. So I'm going to throw it over to Chris and let him talk about this for the next few seconds here. And this is from his video from the past week.
You know, Beckett is just insanely high. And I don't mean like they're 50% high or even double high. I mean, at times they're like 5x, 10x high. I'm going to give a couple examples here. Here's a 2021 Upper Deck Canvas Jamie Drysdale rookie. They claim that this card in raw, near mint condition is a $20 card. Well, you can go on ComC right now and buy the card for $2, $3, dozens of them for $5 or less. Here's another example, 2021 Donruss Unleashed Mike Trout. They claim that this card raw, ungraded, is a $50 card. Well, let's check eBay's recent sales. Here's a couple in the dollar range. There's one for 50 cents and that crazy high sale for $3. Remember?
So you could see right off the bat that the price guide values are nonsensical on the Beckett website. And so that's the first thing I checked. And that's what drove this entire video, is their price guide values are out of touch, not aligned with reality. So what else could I find on the website? So let's now go to the Beckett website. Here I am. And so when we go down to the price guide, this is the price guide page I can see in the URL, online price guide. These are their price points for a single sport, for their single sport online price guide. What does clicking these buttons do for you? Nothing. I don't know the purpose of this other than to highlight the fact that you're only doing this for one sport. Second of all, to get one sports online price guide, it is $12 for 15 days for one sport. Card Ladder is $15 for a month for all cards, all sports. Market Movers has an option for $10, and then it escalates to $25 and $50 with increasing business intelligence and analytics behind it, but you can get it for $10 a month. And again, that is all cards. Beckett is telling you for 2 weeks you can get it for $12 for a single sport. What is going on here? Other nonsensical thing on the website: 15 days, $12. A whole month, $15. So why would anybody ever do the 15-day where you pay an extra $3 for the 1 month, but then 3 months is $41, whereas 1 month is $15. So 15 times 3 is $45. So if you sign up for 3 months, you're saving a whopping $4. This pricing is insane. Also, what is this asterisk for? I don't know. I've looked all over the website on this page. I cannot find an asterisk anywhere. So your guess is as good as mine as to what this asterisk is. But maybe the asterisk is really saying the values that we come up with for the online price guide are from Steve, who is in the back room throwing 5 dice against the wall like it's Yahtzee, and that's how the values are determined. Maybe that's what the asterisk is. Okay. There's this other piece here. It's called the Market Data Report Combo, and then 3 acronyms that I figured out after like a minute of searching. So Market Data Report is MDR. OPG is the online price guide. Why don't you just say this is the market data report and online price guide? Why does it have to be these weird acronyms and call it a combo? Why all of a sudden are we at like a Chinese takeout place and I'm wondering whether I'm getting the chicken balls or the chicken wings? Why is it a combo? Like, do I get fries with this? What is happening here? This doesn't make any sense. And so that is the pricing and the whatever is going on here with this combo thing for one sport. If we go to the total access online price guide, which I assume means all sports, you can see that 1 month it's $41. $41. Again, market or card ladder is 15. Market movers is 10, 25, or 50 if you like want to talk to Jeff and like do a bunch of other stuff here. Get a bunch of actually really cool business intelligence reports. Whereas here, I get values that are wrong. Like what is this? And then there's also a vintage report where it's for cards from 1980 and prior. And there's like another weird price here where it's like $8 for 2 weeks, but $10 for a month, but then $28 for 3 months. So I can pay 1 month and get signed up for $10, or I can sign up for 3 months and save a whopping $2 for $28. Like, what is this? And then, more interestingly, this market data report, it says for collectors interested in secondary market sales information without Beckett pricing. Beckett pricing is the nonsensical values. I would only want this and not the Beckett pricing where Steve is in the back room throwing dice against the wall. Right? This is the only thing that matters. But has anybody used the market data report from Beckett before? Like, I don't know that I would trust their APIs and their data sources that are aligned with reality. I mean, because how else would these nonsensical values in the price guide show up if not from their secondary market sales information? So just a whole lot of what is this from the price guide and how it compares to Card Ladder and Market Movers, who are clearly the two leaders in the space. Like, why would anybody pay for any of this when you can get all sports, not one sport, for $15, $10 here? Like, this is so silly. Okay, so that's the first piece. The pricing for their nonsensical price guide is a waste of your money. And there's no other way to describe that. Speaking of wasting your money, are you aware that they still put out a baseball card price guide? In the year 2024, basketball price guide. Like, what are we doing? How is this even possible that we're printing anything that's a magazine? But even if you like magazines and you want to hold a physical magazine, a price guide? Are you serious? By the time you get the price guide in the mail, it's out of date. This is so like it's not 1994, guys. What are we even doing? How is this still something that you're putting together, even if it's the digital version? If you're at Beckett and you're putting this product out, you know it is useless information that you're putting out, that these price guides have no value because they aren't based on reality, because things change all the time. So it's not, like I said, it's not 1995. So I don't know what the point of these price guides are. The fact that like this exists is insane to me. And then we get to the sad part of the Beckett website. There's a Beckett forum. I am recording this in the wee hours, around 1:45 a.m. on December the 9th. And this is the page that is supposedly the forum for Beckett. And you can see here, if I click on the baseball tab, again, this is December the 9th. Or there are threads from the last couple of days, and that's about it. You scroll down, and all of a sudden we're in November. That is, to say that this place is dead is, it's, like if we scroll down just a little bit, wrestling, last time I posted was 2023, MMA 2022. This might be the saddest place on the internet in the hobby. Football, let's click on this football link here. Someone posted an hour ago, and you scroll down, and all of a sudden you're in October. Like, nobody's talking about anything here. Unless you're interested in a Mark Brunell collection, in which case there's 4,000 replies. So I am confused about that. So that's just a sad part of the internet. So now, of the Beckett website. So now let's go to the Beckett authentication part of the website. This is the news section. You can find this here under resources and in the news. That's how you get to this page. So what's in the news, guys? Well, Beckett authentication moves away from paper sort of certification of authenticity. Great. Sounds like a great idea. This late breaking news from April of 2022. This is not quite the late breaking news that I was led to believe existed on this website. But yeah, that is literally the most recent news that has been posted on the Beckett authentication part of the website. Very out of date. And then this is by far my favorite. This is a PDF file. You can see here, this is the URL if you want to actually take a look at it. It's a PDF explaining you how to submit to Beckett authentication services. Great. If someone wants to submit to them, this is a great form. Here are all the 6 steps, some links here about stuff they can buy, and some links here if you visit the new forum. Why don't any of these links work? Register for free on Beckett.com. I would love to, yet when I click on it, it's not an actual URL. It's underlined like it's a URL, underlined here, underlined here, underlined here, and yet you can see my browser's not going anywhere. What's happening here? Beckett Shield products can be purchased here. Oh, it's a link, right? Underline. They're talking about how you can purchase it by clicking here. Why can't, like, are we so incompetent that we don't know how to put URLs into a PDF? I know how to do that. Like, I think my mom could be able to do this, and yet not Beckett. So this is by far the most outrageous one to me. The marketing person or whoever put this together doesn't know how to use URLs in a PDF document. So that's where we're at with Beckett and their ability to maintain a logical and useful website or documentation. All right, so that's 5 things on Beckett's website that is, some of them I can't even believe are real. But now let's get to one idea I actually like on the website for using the Beckett brand, and that is this thing called the Beckett Shield. So they're basically penny sleeves with the Beckett branding on it, and this is the type of stuff they should have been doing. Using the Beckett name, because that's the best thing they got going for this company, and licensing out for products. Like, this is a great idea. They could do this for penny sleeves. They could do it for top loaders, maybe. Like, there's all sorts of things that they could do. This is what they could have done. Like, why not? Yeah, like have a different sizes here, thick, a 9-page sleeve. Like, that's like for binders and stuff. That's interesting. So this is one idea on the website that I have never heard about, and I think it's due to all the other things that are wrong with it. But with the proper marketing, I feel like this product could have done well when the hobby exploded during the pandemic. Might be a little too late now, but I think there's some potential here. And then the quirky, interesting thing I found, are you aware that there is a Beckett Set Registry? I have heard a lot about the PSA Set Registry. I have not once ever heard anybody talk about the Beckett Set Registry, but it exists. Registry.beckett.com if you are interested. I can't believe this exists. I've never heard about this. But you can see here, there's a bunch of stuff on this webpage. And the interesting tidbit for me, and the most fascinating part, I think, along this whole journey for me in exploring the website of Beckett, is if you click on leaderboard to see who's the leaderboard for this little piece of Beckett's website that nobody really notices because nobody ever thinks about the Beckett Set Registry. We click on it, and you can see here there's baseball, basketball, football, hockey. But if we scroll back up, we have a fellow with something called the Michael Jordan BGS collection in the set registry for basketball. And that person goes by the username Nats Turner. And it seems he has the best Michael Jordan collection in BGS Labs as of whenever he last updated this. And I would hazard a guess to say that a lot of these BGS Labs, if you click on it, are now in PSA holders. But I thought this was hilarious and fitting and ironic and so many adjectives that I thought this was really, really funny. So that is the fun little tidbit. One, a registry even exists on Beckett's website, and the fact that Nat is right there. So there you go. That's a fun little piece of trivia for you. Now we get to the fun part. Who do I think is a dark horse candidate in my mind that could be buying Beckett that nobody's really talked about? So I was going through, as part of this research, the Beckett authentication testimonials here. You can go to resources, testimonials. And I was just reading all these names. And you have some people that you might recognize. You have where is he? Pat Neshek, who was an actual baseball pitcher. Brian Dwyer's is a name I recognize. And then there's this name. There is this name. And he says, he likes working with Steve Grad, and excited for the opportunity to work with Steve Grad and the Beckett team. And who knows how long ago this was, right? This quote. But Brian Gray has been stomping his feet for a while, saying that he's got some big news to share, but he can't share it just yet. And he was supposed to have shared it by now, but it's been delayed. It's almost like he might be dealing with a business or an business opportunity that is stuck in court proceedings or something, that is tied up with lawyers. In his past, he owned and ran Leaf, and he was in an industry with Leaf where there were 2-3 big dominant players in Panini and Topps and Upper Deck. But he was the underdog. These two big behemoths dominated the industry, but he carved out a niche and he turned it into a profitable business, even though the odds were stacked against him. And I will give him all the credit in the world. What he did with Leaf, with no licensing, is incredible. And I just want to stop here and say, I don't know Brian. I've never met Brian. He seems like a smart guy, and I find him wildly entertaining to listen to whenever he's interviewed. But he's taken an underdog before in the hobby, and through his creativity and ideas, turned it into a very profitable business. And he, as he will very happily tell you, sold Leaf for a big chunk of money. So he now has a big chunk of money to spend, and he is working on a thing that is unclear, but it seems like it's stuck in, for some reason. Probably when things get stuck, it's due to lawyers and litigation and that type of thing, red tape. approvals, and he's done it before with an underdog company in the hobby. And I think it's fair to say that Brian Gray is not short on confidence that he would be able to change the way that grading works and to take another underdog company with the odds stacked against them at this point and turn it around. And so, is it possible that Brian Gray, this opportunity he's been talking about, could it be Beckett? It really does tick all the boxes here in a way that now that I'm talking about it, and I only thought about this when I saw his name on this page, it's almost too aligned in terms of like Brian Gray, his persona, his confidence, this thing that keeps on getting stuck that he's been working on, that he's been saying it's going to be a huge opportunity, and how closely this opportunity with Beckett would mirror what he did with Leaf, given that he didn't have licensing. It's lined up pretty well, and I don't know that there's any other people looking to buy Beckett at this point. And Brian Gray also has a big chunk of money that he just got from selling Leaf, so I kind of like this theory. It's not insane, right? You let me know in the comment section down below if I'm missing something, but it really does seem to align. So that is my new theory, something that nobody's ever talked about as far as I know. If someone has, like, I am not aware. But that's my theory. Brian Gray, Beckett. I just want to reiterate, I have never talked to Brian. I am as out of the loop as anybody could be out of the loop. I know nothing. This is just me putting chess pieces and puzzle pieces together to see what makes sense. And I am kind of aligned with this as my new working theory. Forget NAT and PSA, forget CGC, forget anything else that I've said. I think this is my leading candidate at this point. If someone were to buy Beckett, I think it's him. I know I've mentioned other theories before. Those certainly could happen, but I think this is, if we're talking about my favorite theory, and the theory to me that now makes the most sense, I think it's this one. Would love to hear your comments down below. Thank you as always for listening and watching. I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers.